Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for, this is your February bonus reading. We're doing past, present, future. And in your past position, you have this marriage card with the Ace of Cups. So some of you actually could be married, or you could be in a connection that's leading to marriage is kind of what I get here. For others, I feel like you've just maybe been thinking about marriage or committing to something. And again, even if you don't want love, this marriage card could just be you committing to, something that you want to create or have in your life. And so you could just be wanting to, create something new, like a new business, or maybe you want to commit to a new career. So I definitely kind of like get that energy for you here, Sagittarius. For others, it's like you have that Hermit card. So I do feel like it's saying like, okay, obviously if you want to get married, you're going to have to get out in public where people can see you, like physically. And if you do that, then you will find love. If you don't, then you won't. So again, you have the Ace of Cups here. And I feel like some of you are thinking about the disappointments that you've had in love. Even this top row, right? Ace of Cups, Five of Cups, disappointments, Ten of Wands, too much work. The Moon is fears and illusions and things like that. So if you do want love, I would try to work on, letting this stuff go. Five of Cups literally says you have to change your story if you want love. Like, he needs to focus on these two cups. He's focusing on everything he's lost. He's not focusing on something that he could gain. And there's a bridge and a castle over here as well. And so maybe you have to change your story, and to change your story in love, it's very simple. Stop finding love the same way. Again, we all probably have a story where we find love exactly the same way. Maybe we find them at the club. Maybe we find them at the library. Maybe we find them at the old folks' home. I don't know. I'm not here to judge, right? So whatever it is, it's like it needs to change. So maybe you need to start looking at other locations, or doing things differently, or maybe you need to go do something in the first place, right? Maybe you need a hobby. Maybe you need to go to the gym. Maybe you need to go take a cooking class. I don't care what it is. I would do it if you want love, because I feel like it'll open you up to something different, And so I really think that's like the main problem with love in general. It's like as I always say, not to call y'all out, but I get recommended all the videos that you guys watch, all about love, both sides, men, women, everything, right? In between. And I'm like, what the big problem is that everybody is focusing exactly on what they don't want. They're focusing on exactly the type of person that they don't want, and they're not focusing on the type of person that they do want, and they don't even do the things that would lead to the right type of person. So it's like, if you want someone who's like successful and wealthy, go to a high-end bar or something like that to meet a person. Don't go to a club, or go hang out at a bank, right? And watch whoever pulls out the most money. Those are the people you need to be hitting on here, ladies and gentlemen, right? Both. So there you go. Love advice from me, right? You have the Hermit here as well. So again, you have to be seen to be able to get love. And so I would put yourself out there. I do feel like just in your life in general, I feel like you've been through a lot. This is telling me that in the past you've been going through a dark night of the soul. The good news is that you have this Queen of Swords here. She's finally clear on what she wants. So again, if you went through a dark night of the soul, this could be in love, could be in any area of your life. I feel like you now have the clarity necessary to actually know what you want. So that is the good thing that is going on here, right? Let's see. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Two of Swords here. Yes, you have to try something different on the Two of Swords. She is sitting where she has always been, the lady. There's a new island behind her. That new island is an obstacle, but it is not an obstacle that you should not go over. It is an obstacle that, it's an obstacle because she's never been there before. She just has to learn something new. So again, I think we fall into comfort zones in love. And again, not even calling you out, I do this too. So it's like, I'm not perfect. I'm far, far, far from perfect, right? So again, I'm not hating here, Sagittarius, is what I'm trying to say. But what I would say is we all do the same thing. If you look at your past love stories, they're probably all exactly the same, right? So I feel like this is saying something has to change. Doesn't even have to be love. It's like maybe your financial story is the same. But I feel like you need to look at, like, what is it that you're not willing to overcome? Are there challenges? Would you have to put yourself out there more to make your business more successful? Would you have to learn how to talk to people or give public speeches or something like that? Would you have to take the risk of exposing yourself, like, in public by saying something that could be right, could be wrong as well? And maybe that's a problem. There's like some sort of fear that needs to be faced here. But again, everything you want is going to be on the other side of that. With the Hermit, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing at this time. It's kind of funny because I feel like there is someone very, very different approaching you here, but it could also scare you because they're very, very different. I'm getting the word like X-ray vision. This person, I feel like they see through you, not in a bad way. Like I feel like they just see everything. That's this type of person that I'm getting here. It could be an air sign for sure, but I feel like they have like that X-ray vision. They can see through your soul. They might have a very intense like stare as well. And I feel like they see the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. But maybe that's a good thing because they actually like you for who you are, right? They're willing to accept everything. That's like the type of person I'm getting here. And look, with the Queen of Swords, you have the Four of Wands, marriage. So this could be marriage. I kind of feel like you're meeting a person. For some of you, I'm wondering if it's coming up in the past because you already have had your eye on this person. You've already seen them, For others, I feel this could be, again, needing to commit to a new way of doing things. We go up this way to the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands, to me, isn't necessarily a bad card because he planted those wands and now he's having a harvest. He's bringing them to his home in the background, and so he's having harvest. And, again, I kind of get this feeling here where it's almost like there's something you need to do. Yes, it's going to require work, and it could be in work or business, but the result is going to be worth it. Next, in your present position, you have the standstill card. You're not sure what to do. Maybe you're not sure what direction to go in. Maybe you're not sure if you should approach a person or even open up to love. And same thing in business as well. It's like maybe you're not sure if you should put yourself out there, take the risk of being exposed or doing something wrong or telling people you're starting a business or whatever the case may be. But I feel that what you could be grieving or what you could be fearing is the loss of your old story right here, the Three of Cups. Again, or the 3 cups that are on the 5 of Cups, when he turns around and sees these 2 cups, he also gets this bridge and this castle over here. So again, he's getting much more than just 2 cups by opening up to a new opportunity, by turning around and seeing something that, again, could be a little bit of work. He's probably not sure where he's going with the moon card, but guess what? The moon is temporary. I always encourage people to face the moon, to go through the moon, because it's part of the fool's journey. And at the end of it, there are mountains, and mountains in the tarot represent, a success, achievements. So there's some sort of achievement if you just keep going forward. You have the 7 of Cups here. A lot of analysis I'm getting. 7 of Pentacles is really the card of analysis, but intuitively I am kind of getting that here for you, Sagittarius. I'm getting more analysis on this card for some reason, and maybe because he's kind of looking at these cups and there's some good things and bad things in these cups, but I kind of do feel this need to get moving here, Sagittarius, for sure. You have the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles, of course, is a card of holding on too tightly to the past, and so I do get a little bit of that energy there. But here in the reading, but it's not really like that. It's not. Sometimes I think we just hold on to things and we're just holding on. For you, it just has, I don't even know how to describe it, but it just feels different to me. It's more like the story is what you're holding on to, and I hope that makes sense. That's really all I'm getting here for you on that. I do feel like a lot of you could be stabilizing your finances as well. With the 5 of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles, being resourceful. Every single person has had this card or has had something similar to this. We are in a time of resourcefulness. Really, I think what it is Capricorn is going from, Pluto is going from Capricorn to Aquarius. Pluto and Capricorn is all about like efficiency. And so if let's say we could start a business, if it is possible to do it without money, then Pluto and Capricorn is like, no, you have to do it with no money. You have to figure out how to do it on your own, without money, without the resources that you think you need. And I think something people don't realize is, again, when a planet leaves a sign, we're not done working with the energy. That's when it really begins. So, I feel like if there are ways you can do things without the resources you think you need, then you're going to be about 1,000 times more successful than you normally would be, because you're working with the energy. Again, we get rewarded when we work with the energy. Could be a Capricorn coming in for you in love as well. With the 7 of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. I get like this expansive energy. What I'm getting here is that this is you. And the Page of Wands, he's very dreamy in a certain way, not like the Page of Cups, right? But he is very enthusiastic, and, he follows his enthusiasm, which is kind of dreamy in a sense, because he might be excited about a new idea, and so he's like kind of thinking about it first. He's dreaming about it first, and he just goes on the adventure. He follows enthusiasm, excitement, all those other things. And I kind of get that energy here because we have the 7 of Cups as well. So, and I feel like whatever it is going to lead to fulfillment with that 9 of Cups. So I would encourage you to, kind of move in these new directions. With the 4 of Pentacles, you have the 3 of Pentacles. Anything you can do to work with other people would be very beneficial. I would also say, don't be afraid to follow a plan, and don't be afraid to let that plan change. 3 of Pentacles, normally the lady, she's like standing there with a plan, and the guy who did the work is just following the plan. So, don't be afraid to stick to a plan here is what this is saying to me. Next, you have this card that says, it's okay not to have all the answers. They will come to you when you need them. Yes, just get started. And you have this crafter card. It says, a talent is just waiting to be expressed with your hands. Start a small business at home by creating novelties by hand. So any of you who are working with your hands, very good. I also feel like if you're just focused on creative energy, focusing on your creative ideas, crazy ideas, those are the things that are really going to work right now. You have the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Cups. The Ten of Wands is a card of like success, abundance. It's also a card of, and the reason I say that is because he's about to have his harvest at his home right here, but I feel like you need to keep pushing. So really, I am getting success and abundance here. That's not what it represents traditionally, but just intuitively, that's what I'm feeling for you, because it's like you're about to have a harvest. I almost feel like you're about to be rewarded for all the hard work that you've been doing. I also feel that for some of you, again, there could be like a new opportunity that's coming in for you where you're going to have to keep, it's like you have to keep pushing, I really don't know what I'm talking about here, Sagittarius, if I'm being honest with you, because I just see you having to overcome that island like I was talking about on the Two of Swords. It's almost like there's something that maybe you don't necessarily, it's like you don't not want to do it, but you also don't want to do it as well. Because for some of you, I'm wondering if you're like starting over from scratch. Like, let's just pretend you had a YouTube channel, right? I just need to give you an example. It's almost like maybe you've been working on a YouTube channel for like a year, but maybe it's just not working, but you have a new idea. And so you have this new idea, and if you do the new idea, maybe you start another channel, it's different. That's the thing that's going to be very successful. But I kind of have that like fear of loss. I hope this makes sense, where it's like, I can't remember what that logical fallacy is, but it's one of them. Where because you invested in something, you feel like it's valuable. And it's not that it isn't, but I kind of feel like whatever you've been doing that you could be moving on from and starting again or starting something new that's like similar, it's sunk cost fallacy, right? And what I would say here is that I feel like the new thing is going to be the thing that's like much more successful. So, that might not only be for like a few of you, but if you've put in a lot of work into something and you're moving on to something else, I feel like you just need to know that the something else is going to be like 1,000 times more successful. I see it right here. Nine of Cups, total fulfillment, total wish fulfillment, abundance, success, happiness. I see really good stuff here on the Nine of Cups. So, I feel like there's a lot of success. I also feel there's like a lot of wish fulfillment with this Nine of Cups as well. So definitely good stuff. You have the Four of Cups here. I feel like you need to let go of past disappointments. Four of Cups is the disappointment of always thinking that things are going to work a certain way and they never do. And that's kind of what I feel for you, where there's like new opportunities coming in for you, but you could still be holding on to the disappointments of the way things that have gone, the failures, the things not working out how you want them to or whatever. So I feel like this is saying you need to open up to like new ways of doing things or just different success, right? Let's see. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Star card, some sort of wish fulfillment. But again, Star can be the fear of exposure, like I was saying earlier. With the Star, we kind of have to expose ourselves because it's Aquarius. We have to shine our inner light with this energy. So don't be afraid to share something with the world. I definitely get that. But I also get wish fulfillment here. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Death card. Some sort of transformation here. We are in it's kind of boring to me because it's like the most transformative time of your life. Next time this happens, you'll be dead. So, I would say that that I would embrace the change, any changes that you can embrace, because again, Pluto and Aquarius wants newness. People are always like, why do you always tell people to do new stuff? I'm like, Pluto and Aquarius is pretty freaking simple. And yes, I'm going to keep talking about it because if you don't do it, then you're not going to get the benefits. So do different things, try new stuff. I'm literally starting a whole new channel. You're about to find out about it soon, all about doing new stuff. Like literally, that's how important this is. With the Four of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, lying, cheating, stealing, but really, it's a card of tactics, and, he's normally stealing those swords, and he's sneaking away from an army that's in the background. It kind of suggests, like, on your side, if there are ways that you could do things in a tactical way, in a different way, then I would, I would do that, whatever it is. Like, let's say, maybe instead of, maybe there's like a guerrilla marketing campaign that you could do for your business instead of paying for marketing. Maybe you could get people to talk about your business. And we're not talking about doing negative things, right? There are plenty of examples of positive guerrilla marketing kind of type techniques, like, any of those funny commercials. the poo potty thing, whatever that was called. I can't remember the name of it. Squatty potty, right? So that the shaving one, Dollar Shave Club, right? They had a good one as well. So that's like a good example of Seven of Swords energy, doing it the right way. Because trust me, there is a wrong way with the Seven of Swords, but doing it the right way, could make you very successful. So I would be embracing your creative ideas here. Doesn't even have to be in business. Could be in love as well. It's like maybe you're noticing everybody's the same in love right now. I don't know if you're out here on these streets, Sagittarius, but let me tell you something. It's like a goddamn war zone with the love right now, right? So what I would say is if you do something completely different, then you are going to stand out, and you'll probably have not only options, but probably attract good options, right? Next, rant over. In your outcome, you have this Truth Be Told card. A lot of truths coming out. We're going to see a lot of truths coming out. I talk about this all the time because it's a sign of the times. We're going to see a lot of truths coming out in the world. But on a personal level, what this means is that as long as we're living our own truth, like the things that we want to create or see or do or be in the world, then we're going to be very successful. And that's kind of what I see here. The problem is maybe you don't know what your truth is with the moon. So what's the solution? Well, you have to find out, right? People always leave me comments like saying things like they don't know what they're interested in, for example. And they're like, how do I find out? I'm like, well, you have to get started on something. It's like, go try a hobby. Go try something that you think you might be interested in, right? And then if you're not interested in it, okay, try something else. Do something different, right? And go figure out what your interest is. It should be something that captures your attention. And again, I think it's hard. Like, I totally understand if you think that you don't have any interest or if you don't have anything that can capture your attention, it's very hard to kind of like get started and find something that does, because the act of doing it is what brings the interest into your life in the first place. So, that's kind of like what I'm getting here on the moon. With the Six of Swords, I feel like you're moving on to calmer shores. I do see a lot of improvements for you just in general. So I just feel like this is talking about improvements. And you have the Temperance card, you, Sagittarius, coming up in a very strong position. I feel like you have the power to turn things around in your life very quickly and significantly. So I would be using your powers of manifestation to kind of like create the things you want in your life. I would also be using your powers of manifestation to create turnarounds, like improvements in your life as well. But let's see what is going on for you here, Sag. With the moon, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands. I kind of like this because, to me, it's saying that you're taking the lead on something like we were saying with the Two of Swords. I feel like you're taking the lead to move forward, to move through your fears, to be more successful. With the Six of Swords, you have the Hangman here. Hangman is a card of enlightenment. Maybe you're just finally getting some answers on what you actually need to do with your life or to make better changes. And with the Temperance card, you have the Page of Swords here. You have the Knight of Swords as well. I would like, again, this is a card of curiosity. So like I said, there's something about interest popping into my head. I didn't really talk about that enough. I feel like you need an interest or you need something to work on. It could turn into a business, but maybe not even. Maybe it's just a thing that gets you out of your head. I will tell you, again, I've said this story many times. I was suffering for like 3.5 years. It was my own fault, right? But I wasn't doing anything I was interested in. I was just sitting around stewing all day in my room, literally, right? For 3.5 years after a business failure. And I was learning, so I was doing something, but I wouldn't allow myself to go have fun. I wouldn't allow myself to get out of the house or anything like that, right? And it wasn't until I got out of the house, it wasn't until I started going for walks every single day. That's when things literally turned around like overnight, literally overnight. So what I would say here is anything you can do to start looking for an interest or for something to do, it spills over. It's like the reason I preach this so much is because it spills over into other areas of your life. When you're making improvements, when you're doing things you enjoy, then other parts of your life start to improve. And then when they improve, other things improve. You want to create these positive snowballs. For like months, I've been getting this message that really people need to focus on creating positive snowballs in their life, whatever that means for you in any area of your life that you wish. And if you do that, you'll be very successful. You have this Flute card. It says a disappointment in a friend or a lover, probably a past person is what I would say here. But I feel like there's new opportunity coming in for you. You have this Apple card. It says temptation will test you. Knight of Swords versus the Page of Swords. It's like, are you going to take the time to get to know a person, Page of Swords, and be curious about them? Or are you going to try to rip their pants off with the Knight of Swords, or vice versa, right? I don't know. And again, I'm not here to judge. You do you. You do whatever you want. But I do feel like this is saying there could be a person coming in, and it's like rushing right in would be a bad idea. Taking your time, allowing things to develop would be a very good idea. So I would like, take your time. You have this Ear card. It says good news. Definitely could be some good news coming in for you. Star card. Sometimes I feel like the star, it's like your purpose, but more the star is your North Star. It is the thing that guides you in life. It is the thing that you want to work towards. So again, some of you could be discovering a purpose. I have a feeling it could be through an interest, like a hobby, or just something you're interested in. You have this Fox card. It says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Seven of Swords. We literally talked about this. So that's exactly what I'd be doing here. Mimic success as well with the Fox. You have this man. It says dealings with relationships with a man. I always clarify these cards. In the people cards, you have this bowl. It says plenty of material things. You could be attracting like a wealthy person or a successful person. Even though it says man, again, I don't attach gender to my cards. Whatever you're interested in, doesn't matter. But I feel like it could be a person who's very successful and abundant. Could also just be you becoming more abundant here, which we definitely see. So pretty interesting here. I feel like you're finally getting moving forward, which is nice. And it's not so slow. I think things have been very slow, and now things are speeding up. So thank you for being here, Sag. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what is going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.